The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
I'm a big fish, a small pond, got my days free and my nights long. I create my own reality. Who I am is fine with me. As famous as I wanna be. Who I am is fine with me. To I am, to I am, who I am is fine with me.
Maria, how's it going? Thank you for joining us. Tonight is Tuesday, August 25th, 2020. The year that was and wasn't. That's what I've been saying, because it's one of those years, actually like no other. So, but we've been rolling with it. We've been doing this. We've been doing our show for 2017. Let me just lower this. Was our 3-year anniversary. So congratulations to our show. We're very excited about that. We want to thank Jim Bell. He's our producer and engineer of Armed Radio, armeddigitalmedia.com, armedradioglobal.com. You can go to either one of those two streaming sites, and our show is streaming live on the radio or on the internet. We are also coming out of the Radio Garden in Boston. That goes live as well from 9 to 10 p.m. every Tuesday. Now, let's say you have a TuneIn app, either on your cell phone, your iPad, and you want to find Armed Radio from wherever you are. You just use your TuneIn app, and when you get to that, click on Armed Radio, and we will be there every Tuesday from 9 to 10 p.m. Those are the ways that you can find us. I also Facebook Live every week, come hell or high water. And there have been some weeks where there was some hell and some high water. And we made it. So I think 161 episodes. This is episode 161. We've only missed one episode and we had serious technical difficulties. So that was that. But here we are. So now let me say hello to some of our guests, because I've seen Leo Rodriguez has joined us. Hi, Leo. My love, he is out in California now. Mandar Chick Magnet is right there on Leo's heels. Or maybe Mandar came in first. Might have been a tie. I'm looking, I think it's a tie. Kenny Green. Could I love you anymore? Kenny Green. So nice to see you, Kenny. I miss you and I can't wait to hug you. And boy, do we have a lot to talk about. I can hear you laughing right now. I just heard you laugh. Okay. Shout out, please, to Donna Jack, your mom. She's also in California. I don't know. I wonder if she's close to Leo. Okay, let me see. Yes, I think Leo did win. You are out of breath. I see you that you had ran in. Coming home next week, Kenny Green. Oh, my God, that's wonderful news. I look forward to seeing you, honey. Annette Zito, our friend and confidant in food and friendship. Annette Zito has joined us. Catherine Salvio, how are you, Catherine? Good to see you. She's in Florida, and she's holding down the fort down there. She's holding down the New York City sensibility down in FLA. Boy, do they need it. Leo has put the Chick Magnet up. Okay. Let me see. Chris de Gavons is here. Is he really? Where's Chris? I have not seen him. Eddie Kutu, my friend, and he owns and operates Blade Salon, Rocky Hill, Connecticut. They are doing an incredible job of staying up to all regulations and doing incredible work. I love your Instagram, and I follow it all the time. I love the work that you do. It's just beautiful. Stephanie Block-Egan, my friend from Jersey, and singer and writer and great mom. I love you, Steph. I love you very much. So we have a lot of great people that have joined us. Oh, my God. Lynn Portis, genius, has joined us. There she is. Lynn and I were laughing our heads off on the phone today. So, anyway, okay, I'm going to get this out of the way early because I have two incredible women calling in tonight. And I'm calling the show Creating Masterpieces, because that is what they do. They do very different type of masterpieces, but they are both so incredibly talented, and I'm very excited. I plan these things, accordingly. So, I want to tell you about the our merchandise right off the bat, because I know we're going to get super busy and we're not going to have a chance to do this. So, yes, we still have merchandise, although I have to order some aprons. I'm super low on aprons. I think I have 2 left. Our piece de resistance, as we say, our fabulous blue apron that says, "Go ahead, keep eating." And it's What's the Story with Maria. This is $25. It's the most expensive thing we sell because it's the most expensive thing for them to print and make. But then, you talk about a bargain. Look at your tote bag. You know, Leo helped me design these. So there's your tote bag, and on the back it says, "Go ahead, keep eating." There you go. I mean, how cool are you going to be going to the grocery store in this baby? And this is washable, so it's not. It's just one of those great things you throw in the wash and it comes out great. That's 10. And our beautiful mug, these are flying off the shelves. Our beautiful mug is 10 as well. Kind of a steal, right? So please, if you want anything, let me know. Just contact me, or Leo can put up the little form that you would fill out, and then we'll contact you. And because there is some shipping, the aprons and tote bags are really not expensive to ship at all. The mug is a little more. Now, if you're close by, I'll deliver it. I don't mind. I have a car, I'll deliver it. So we'll save you the shipping and handling on that, okay? So we have those are things that we have. All right, so this is, we are in August. We have been living in a strange new time. And, you know, a lot of things, and you know, I don't have to keep repeating it. The world has changed a little bit, and New York and other places are rolling with it. That's all we can do at this point. We're rolling with it, and we're taking care of each other, and that is all we can do. Now, what I found, I was talking to someone yesterday. Actually, I was talking to Susie yesterday, my great friend Susie Campanero, and we were talking about staying really, that our creativity, personally, has really, like, it's almost like there's been, like, this miracle grow on it. Because when you're someone that's always running around and doing things, and then you're not able to do the things that you're used to doing, which is making music or comedy or things like that, it's like you can't really cap creativity if you're a creative person. I love that about creativity. And when I teach kids, I always try to really nourish that in them. Not to judge yourself while you're doing things. So we have both been creating a lot, and as has Lynn, I was talking to Lynn. Lynn is just, blowing up. And Lynn's going to call in next week and tell you something really fun that she's doing. And so a lot of things, Eric Eves Garcia he did a show outside at Music on the Mansion in New Jersey this week. There's a lot of amazing musicians. My friend Willie Martinez, I follow him. He and his jazz guys are out on the street in Brooklyn. It's like amazing, just playing live jazz. I really have to give it up for all these amazing musicians. I have to give it up for all these amazing restaurants and bars that are outside trying to make it happen. This Thursday at Brandy's Piano Bar, which I love, 234 East 86th Street between 2nd and 3rd, they're having another fundraiser, and I actually will be in that lineup this week. I'm very excited about that. And Will T. and Hall is on piano. Michael Isaacs will be there as well. I am there. I think Jennifer Pace, John Satcham. There's a bunch of people. And if you're out there and you want to type in who's going to be there, please let me know. But it's going to be like such a lineup. So they're still, they're trying to generate income to keep the doors open. But they have also opened outside. So they have a little outside that you can just go and sit and have some drinks. They have chips and salsa and hummus and veggies. They'll be out there. And then the music, you can hear the music because the singers actually are standing outside and the piano player is inside. So New York is trying to make it happen, and it is happening. Oh, here's our friend Maura. Hi, Maura. How are you?
Hi, how are you, Marie?
I'm good, sweetheart. So now, let me just set this up so that the microphones are close. Your voice is fine. If you bring it up a little bit more, that would be amazing because I just have you on speakerphone. So, okay, everybody, this is Maura Cooper. Now, I have a confession to make. Usually, I know my guests, but this is a very special guest because Lynn Portis, my friend that I love and respect, called me and she said, "You have to have my friend Maura on your show." Maura, did you know that Lynn was your agent on this call.
Yes, I do know that.
Yeah, she loves you. We were talking today. She said you folks went to high school together, right?
Yes, we did. Many, many years ago.
Yeah, and she said that you were one of those people that she just loved because you were solid as a rock and kind and super smart, and she just loved being around you. So she said, I just love Maura. You have to meet my friend Maura.
I appreciate her saying all that.
Yep. Now, I want to tell people I checked out all your stuff, and you do two things that I know. You may do more things, but the two things I noticed that you do beautifully is you write poetry, the most beautiful poetry. Actually, I got to tell you, I was really taken with your poetry. And
Thank you.
I want to say that. And I write a lot myself, so I'm not easily impressed with just, your run-of-the-mill stuff, but your stuff is exceptionally good.
Thank you.
So
Appreciate that.
Yeah, I wanted to say that. And now let's start with your woodworking, though, and then we can go back to the poetry. So you are, and I want to put up the website right away, our friend Leo, who's our assistant, it's www.carving, carving, Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so that's where you can find Maura's work. So your stuff is just amazing. I have no idea how one human being with a few tools can do that.
I appreciate that. It's been a lifetime of learning. That's how I do it.
Okay, well, that's a true artist when you're always learning. So now let me start, though, by asking you, where did you find your love of carving? Was it a family thing, or was it a teacher where did you first say, I want to try to do this?
Well, I actually got hurt, and I started out of boredom, believe it or not, and I didn't really know where it came from. And it would be many years later, when I had been carving for a while already, that one of my great aunts, who we just had gotten back in touch with, says, I remember you as a little girl sitting on your grandfather's lap while he was whittling.
Wow.
And I said, what are you talking about? And I didn't have an actual memory of that.
Really?
But I assumed that I had it, given to me by my grandfather, and he was one of my greatest heroes. So I'm very, very happy if that's what he left me with. It's fantastic.
So here was this gift that was in your blood, but you didn't even remember it. So and he kind of passed it down to you, just DNA.
Yeah.
So
kind
he's
of nice for me. Yeah.
And you said he was one of your heroes, huh?
Yeah, he was my guy in my life. That was my man. So.
That's exactly how I feel about my grandfather on my mother's side. He was the hero in my movie. That's what I always say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing, and grandparents out there, if you're listening, it's very, you think it's not a big deal, but what you leave for your grandchildren is, you just can't even put a price on it. Now, Maura, you say you just started out of boredom. Did you go to the store and buy a block of wood? Did you find an old piece of furniture? How did you, exactly, what was your first day whittling?
Exactly, and I don't call it whittling because Whittling is a nice. At first, I guess my first thing was a whittle, really. But what happened was I had been a letter carrier for many, many years, and I fell down the stairs and I broke my leg, and I had a huge, almost ankle to thigh cast on.
Wow.
And I was home all by myself, and after months of watching TV and reading and playing on the computer, I was really bored, and I had a workshop down in my basement.
Yeah.
That I used to refinish the woodwork in the house with. And I got myself down there on my butt, and I was going to play with some stuff, but I realized all my power tools you had to stand to really use.
Wow.
And I said, I can't do this. What am I going to do? I couldn't get back upstairs because I needed help. It hurt a lot, and I needed to wait for someone to come home.
Oh, my God.
So I sat at a bench with a little knife, a little piece of wood. I have a collection of 300 penguins.
Wow.
And I just sat there with this rusty little knife and started carving this little penguin. And then when my friend came home, she helped me up the stairs, and she said, what's in your hands? And I said, oh, it's a little penguin. And she said, where'd you get that? And I said, I made it. And she said, no, you didn't.
Wow.
And it was just like her telling me I didn't do it, that the next day I had to carve something else just to prove I had done that. And after that, it just became this, I guess, an obsession. I just started carving like crazy.
Isn't
like
that
everything?
That's a great story. So it just was in you, and then like she was. I guess it was so good that she didn't believe that because it was so good, she didn't believe you could have possibly made that, right?
Yeah, and then the next day I did carve like a little cowboy boot in front of her with all the little laces on it and everything, and she was like just amazed. She said, "Oh my God, I knew at that moment you were going to be really good at this."
Wow.
And it's taken me on a journey, I have to say.
So tell us about that. Tell us about you started doing that. Now, first of all, you were a letter carrier at the time, and you still work for the post office. So we want to thank you for your service right off the bat.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
I have some of my family members are in the postal service, and I love them and appreciate them, and I always have loved my mail carrier. So thank you for that. Just to get that out of the way, because that's not an easy job, and we appreciate you. Now,
they do bust their butts.
Oh my God, do they ever? Do they ever? So now you knew you had this gift. Your friend now was a witness to this gift, and where did it go from there?
I made myself a website just because I was home and had the time to learn how to build a website, and it was something I had wanted to do. And once I had this art to show off, I had been a painter. I had done a lot of different things in my life. I used to etch car windows. I did dungaree jackets. For years and years and years, all the album covers on the dungaree jackets. Remember them?
Yes, of course. I'm Maura. We're the same age, so we.
Those were like the things I got paid for first. I've been working since I was like 13. I tell people making signs and making jackets.
So you were always artistic, visually artistic.
Right.
Okay.
It never went anywhere like this. So I built the website, and all of a sudden, once in a while, we get phone calls, and people would be like, "Can you do?" And all they had to say was, "Can you?" And I was like, "Yes."
Wow.
And I took it like a challenge. That was my education to carve anything. I wanted to be good enough to carve anything that somebody else wanted, not just my own stuff. Because you can carve your own stuff well. But you don't really learn until you step out of your comfort zone and get into someone else's zone, because you have to have a very important thing when you're a commissioned artist. You have to have what's called a meeting of the minds.
Yes.
And without them being able to show me exactly what they want, you have to talk to a person and figure out what is it they see in their mind that they want. And then you have to give them that. As the artist, that's really the art of it all.
Yes, that's amazing.
It's a mental thing.
This is fascinating.
It's the mental,
Yes, and what was? Let me see. What did you ever come across something that you felt? No, I'm not going to be able to do this, or I don't want to do this. And you don't have to tell me what it is. You can just say yes or no.
Yes, I have, but it was only because of the size of something.
Oh, okay.
If it's out of the scope of what I can reasonably do in my shop, I have to. I don't want to set myself up for failure and set someone else up for disappointment.
Yes,
basically. So if I reasonably can't do it, I wouldn't take something that I didn't think. But not the subject matter. I have carved like everything. I've carved voodoo deities for people. I've carved, everything you can think of. I've become known. I live in New York City all my life, born and bred in New York City, and I have become the carver of the cod in Massachusetts.
Wait, I grew up in Massachusetts.
You know what the sacred cod is?
The cod?
Have you heard of the sacred cod of Massachusetts?
No.
The sacred cod of Massachusetts hangs in the State House.
Wow.
In Boston, and I became known doing these little carving jobs, and I would put it on the internet, and a start to finish story of how I did a carving, pictorial I called them, and people would start to call me, "Can you carve a cod? Can you carve a cod?" I wound up that I have a cod now hanging in a 5-star hotel up in Cape Cod, but anyway, my name got known as this carver of the cod, and the Massachusetts State House called me.
Oh my God!
And said, "Can you come here? We heard you've never actually seen the real sacred cod in person." So they brought me there. We had like a photo session. It was a whole big thing. They had to pass a temporary bill just to get me to come in and have a picture with this fish.
That is amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy. Now I can tell you stories. I have like an hour-long story for that for another day.
Well, we're going to have to... Well, first of all, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to meeting you someday. Maybe me, you, and Lynn can go out and get something to eat or something.
Yeah.
Or I'll have you call in again. But what I do want people to do, please, you don't have to do it now. After the show, please go and check out Maura's website. Leo has posted it. Thank you, Leo. You're the best. carvinginnyc.com. And Maura, if someone were to commission you to do something, I'm sure it has to do with the size, but usually how long does that take?
It depends. I mean, I've done things for magazines in a day. It depends how much you want to pay me and how fast you need it, basically.
Right. Well, that's reasonable.
But I've worked weeks on certain things, and I worked, like I said, I just got something in Esquire magazine. Took me a day, but it was like a full day, like 20-hour day.
In Esquire magazine, wow! This month's?
I'm not sure the month it's coming out.
Okay, well that's cool.
We did it in July. I did it in July.
Oh my God!
I'm telling you, follow your dreams, people, because I started out in the basement just doing a little carving, and I've been in Men's Health magazine, full page carving. I've been in. Now I'm going to be in Esquire. I've been on the Martha Stewart show for it. And I'm just a humble little mailman, doing all this, and it's
humble little mail carrier.
It's been a journey, though. I mean, it really has on where my art has taken me.
And how many years have you been at it?
Now, I broke my ankle in 2001. That's how I look at it. I started in 2002.
Okay.
So we're up to 20, so it's 18 years now.
18 years. Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
So, if you want an original piece by Maura, give her enough time. Let's say it's Christmas or an anniversary or something, or you're opening a business or whatever it is. Check her out. Give her enough time. Please go and look at her stuff. I mean,
check me out in 3 years when I retire again. I'm kind of doing what I do right now just to get through. I'm working about 60, 70 hours a week at this point, just with my regular job. So. Right now, I'm not so much taking commissions. I mean, unless it's something that really interests me to do.
Yes. But, now, do you have a shop that people can buy things that are already made?
No, that's not what I am. I am a commission carver.
Wow. Okay.
I carve for myself. I teach. I do carvings when I teach. I've taught for 10 years in the parks department. I went back to work. I don't do that anymore. But every year I still teach up in the Poconos during the summer. And,
wow.
Other stuff I do, but right now I'm not really taking, like I said, when they called me for Esquire magazine, it was something I couldn't say no to.
Right. Yeah, of course.
So I'm not really looking for a whole bunch of business right now. I take occasional jobs that interest me, but other than that, I'm just waiting to retire so I can get back to my life of art.
Yes. Oh, how beautiful. Well, thank you for sharing those stories with us, and I'm really excited. I'm actually excited for you to retire and be able to do that, because can you imagine what you're going to create? And I know, those last few years are tough sometimes. It's that last stretch. It's that last lap. It's always harder.
About 3 years, and maybe a little bit less than 3 years, and I'm itching now.
I know. I'm sure. Now, let me talk to you about your poetry. Did you start doing that as a young person as well, or was that something that came later?
Yeah, no, I started writing in high school. I guess it's the regular old teenage angst,
Yeah, me. I hear you loud and clear. Me too.
I have all my books still from high school that I wrote. I probably have about 30 notebooks full of poetry. Then when computers came online, I stopped with the notebooks, which was silly. I would have this huge collection, but I started just saving them in computer files at that point.
Yeah. You ever go through, because I do, I sometimes I find my old notebooks and I go through and some of the stuff I'll take like 1 or 2 lines from sometimes and just start something new. Or what do you find when you look at old books?
For my own self, when I look at my own writing, I look at it and it's like, I can't believe I thought this was good at that time. I read it, I don't know, with the stuff that I write now, I really like myself, where when I look back, it was just like, what was I thinking?
Well, I think that comes with age. I think as we get older, we get wiser. I mean, as much as that's a cliche, but it is true. And you learn from your mistakes. And the next thing you know, you've hopefully learned from something and grown, and we evolve. You know? So, wow, that's just, I mean, I just love your writing. So, if people want to check out your writing, is there a separate place, or do you just put it on Facebook, or how do you do that?
Yeah, I just put it on Facebook. I tried to actually go back through my stuff and make it all, universal, so anybody can see it at this point.
Okay.
So my writing is visible. They just go to my page.
Just beautiful. Just beautiful. I love it so much, and
if you're gonna search on Facebook, it's Maura Cooper, and it has a little caricature of a letter carrier on there now.
Yes, I love it. The old-fashioned letter carrier, though. That's an old logo,
well,
isn't it?
Zippy. That's Mr. Zip.
Mr. Zippy, that's right.
That's right. He was one of my favorite. People laugh at me even now in the post office. They're like, "How do you like that guy all these years?" So I said, "I love Mr. Zippy."
Yes, no, I love that old-fashioned stuff. It's really, really cool. It's really cool. So, okay, so if you want to follow Maura, please go and look at her beautiful carving. Again, it's carvinginnyc.com. It's Maura Cooper on Facebook. You can look at her poetry. It's really beautiful. Now, Maura...
and if anybody knows an editor out there, don't hesitate to contact me. That's my next accomplishment I want in my life. I want to be a published poet.
You know what? Good for you. I love that, first of all, because I usually ask my guests, like, what would you leave people that are creative? What would something you would say? So I'm going to ask you, that's going to be my next question. Well, if there's a kid out there, or there's a person our age out there that has just been putting it off, what would you say about tapping into your creativity?
Well, it was a little bit, I forgot to tell you about my carving story.
Okay.
When I was about 16, my mom asked me, "What are you going to do with your life?" Because she thought I wasn't doing anything. And I, without hesitation, answered, "I'm going to be an artist." And my mom laughed at me.
Yep.
And when she passed away in 2001, that's also when I started carving again. So I always said, I don't know if she was giving me permission or I was doing it in spite of her. But
that's intense.
Don't let anybody tell you what you can and can't do. Don't let anybody step on your dreams, whatever it is, because I wish I had started my art at 20 for real, for money. I think I would have been able to have a career out of it.
Well, you know what? Things happen when they happen.
That's it.
You know, I feel like with art, you can't push it. And I also feel like I believe what you said, like whether it was in spite of or she gave you permission, it's almost like that door had to close for that light to come through that creative place that you had, you know, and that accident had to happen so that you had the time to do it, you know?
Well, I can tell you, like in 6 months, I turned 40, 9/11 happened, my mother died, I broke my leg, I lost my job, I lost my steady check there.
Wow.
Everything happened in 6 months, and that's when I started carving. It's when I started really writing again. I started writing a book and everything. But that's what it is. It's change. It's when you have chaos in your life, your soul looks for change, and it changes to find its peace. That's what I say.
Wow, that's beautiful. That is, I mean, and if that isn't great advice for everybody, just really take what Maura just said. You know, we're in that kind of time right now where people are frightened. There's a lot of loss, a lot of grief. Now is a great time to just open that door in your soul of let that creative light in, and whatever comes through, let it come through. You know, Maura, what a pleasure to talk to you. Oh my God, you have so inspired all of us. Thank you, honey. I look forward to meeting you someday. And thank you for your service. I know you work hard, and I appreciate it. And we will have you back on at some point when everything settles down again. Okay?
Well, thanks, Mary. It was nice to talk to you.
It was so nice to talk to you. And again, Lynn Portis raves about you and loves you. Any friend of Lynn's is a friend of mine. So
thanks. Appreciate that.
Thank you, sweetheart, so much. It was so nice to talk to you.
All right. You have a good night, okay?
You too, honey. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Nick. Bye.
Wow. I feel like I have electricity going through my arms. Just what an amazing message from an amazing artist. And you have to go to her website and look at her work. It's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. And then her poetry is so beautiful. Now, what she said about, I'm putting it out there. She was putting it out there in the universe. I would like to be a published poet. And you know what? I believe she's going to be. Because she said it. You have to envision something. And, Judy Mesa, who I did see pop up here, my honey, just popped up a little while ago, but we were talking. Is that kind of person, that kind of like visual dreamer, like sees something, writes it down, makes a plan, and goes for it. It's like, I've never seen anything like it. It's like vision, plan, accomplishment. And that I think people like me we're a little more full of fear, and we start to judge ourselves. I've learned in the last few years to really let that go. And let me tell you, in COVID, oh boy, you really got to let that go, because you have to do it, and you have to do it now. Everything's changed. The world is literally tipped on its side. Now is the time to be creative, to do what you have to do, reach out to people, tell them what you feel. Now, our next guest is going to call in a minute, but let me see, we're waiting for the beautiful Shannon O'Donnell, my friend and favorite cake maker. I mean, you just have no idea. But let's check on our people. I know I saw Judy. Hi, honey bunny. I look pretty. Thank you. I'm old as the hills, but as long as you still like me, thank you. Okay. Let me see. Jeannie Craigie. Hi, sweetheart. How are you? So happy to see you, Jeannie. I love all your pictures, and you're keeping us in touch with what's happening in my hometown, Stoneham, Massachusetts. Wait, did I just see Matt Rydell? Matt Rydell? How are you, honey? Oh, my goodness. Who is this? Shannon O'Donnell?
Hi, Maria.
Oh, my God.
Hi.
Wait a minute. I'm so excited. This is my very favorite cake and dessert maker ever. And she is calling in right now. How are you, honey?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Well, so this weekend I saw you. I came over to your house because it was your mom's birthday, and I wanted to bring some sauce and just...
Yes.
And I was so happy to be with you. I love the O'Donnells.
Yes, we loved having you here. It was so nice to just sit down and chat with you for a little bit.
Yeah. And I grew up in Boston, so it was like my friends were all Irish and Italians. And when I walked into your house, I just felt like I had gone back to my childhood. It was just like this super comfortable feeling, and everybody was running around and your kids are beautiful, by the way.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
So the funny thing is, I'm out on the porch talking with your mother, and your little one comes out and tries to bring me a cupcake. That's not been frosted yet. She's offering me things, and your mom was like, no, that's not finished yet. So now let's tell everybody. So Shannon, what I loved was, I love Shannon's work, and I've ordered a couple cakes from Shannon, and I've told people about Shannon, but what I loved was I was at your mom's house, and you were just in the kitchen and just spinning that thing around, making a cake. And, like, you do that every day. That's something that comes so natural to you, right?
Yeah, I do it pretty much every day. If I'm not, almost every single day. If I'm not baking, I'm decorating. A day off here and there, but it's been pretty busy, which is good. And it's funny you say that about the turntable. Somebody I've known my whole life reached out to me recently, and she said she makes cakes herself, that I need to get one of those spinny thingies. And I told her, I said, I got it on Amazon like anything else, but I love this turntable. And she was like, oh, it's a turntable. She said, are you spinning cakes or spinning meat? And I just thought that was so funny.
Yeah, it's true, because when you said turntable, that's the first thing I thought of. But
right.
It is one of those cakes, you just spin it and you create. But you don't just make cakes, Shannon. First of all, before we say anything, Leo is going to post. So if you want to find Shannon, you should actually, if you can do this now while we're talking, it's on Instagram, right, honey?
Yes.
It's e.z.cakes. So easy cakes, but e.z.cakes on Instagram. And these are not just cakes, Shannon. First of all, your cakes are delicious. I love that part of it, because they're the best tasting cakes I've ever had. And
Thank you.
lots of times people will make these creations and they're beautiful and all that, but they just don't taste good. I'm not going to lie. I've had
Right.
some impressive looking cakes that you get at bakeries or somebody has a friend of a friend, but I'm always so disappointed in the taste. Your cakes not only are the most beautiful and creative, but they're the most delicious.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I try that. I've definitely always been, obviously, the most important thing to me. I personally like making simpler cakes. Just something more on birthday cake, something more on the simple side. I think that the cake itself, eating it, is the most important part.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, were you a kid that loved desserts growing up?
Always. Definitely. I still look forward to dessert. But yeah, I always would be full at dinner, but there was always room for dessert.
I love
for
it.
me.
And you're thin. You're like I'm always like mind blown. Like usually chefs are like, you can tell that they've been eating their own food, but you are like, you make desserts every day, and you're just tall and thin like a dancer. It's amazing. So whatever you're doing, it's working, Shannon.
Thanks. So don't eat after 6 o'clock. That's the rule.
See, there's always a rule.
Don't eat at night.
Well, I eat all day friggin' long, so forget that. Now, you went. Tell us where you went to school.
I went to Johnson and Wales, 2010 to 2013, in Rhode Island. So, New England.
Yeah, I love New England.
I know, so do I.
Yeah, well, we could just put you right in there. I'm telling you, if you just came to Boston with me sometime and I just popped you in with my Irish friends, that's it. They wouldn't even know the difference.
I'm right in.
Yeah.
I do love Boston.
Yeah, it's a cool place. Well, New York and Boston, they're very similar. They have that same vibe. Now, let me ask you: as a kid, did you make desserts then? Were you the person in the family making the desserts as well?
Not only for family functions or just at home. What I did do a lot though, I think about from time to time. A couple of my friends when I was younger, 10, 11, 12 years old, would come over and we would bake. And we had a little video camera and we would record me in the kitchen baking, just box mix.
Yeah.
But I always loved bake. Yeah, definitely.
That was always your thing. Now, were you also artistic? Were you a kid that drew as well?
Not really, no. And I really never felt that I had an artistic or creative bone in my body until I started Easy Cakes. And the more that I do it from myself and on my own terms, the more I've been feeling more creative lately.
Isn't that amazing? That's what Maura was saying, was talking about, and I feel the same way. Susie, my friend Lynn, that since COVID, we feel more creative.
Yes.
Yeah,
definitely.
Well, maybe it's because we're home and we're stuck, and it's like this other part of us that's not used to just sitting still comes alive.
Yeah, I think so. I think it has a lot to do with it, for sure. We're doing something that we enjoy, and I think it's ever evolving and ever sparking more love and more joy, which leads to more creativity.
Now, you didn't really draw, but you were always good at desserts. Now, but you make these creations that, to me, I would have thought you were that kid in school that always won the art fair, or was constant, everybody had a picture in their apartment of that kid that drew it, because your cakes are like these sculptures and these amazing things, and they're funny. You make funny cakes, and so where did that come from?
I honestly don't really know. I don't have. I have one piece of art. I don't know where it is right now. From when I was in high school, I know that I drew Irish dancing soft shoes, and I was always really proud of that one particular piece. But otherwise, I was never. My younger brother's very artistic. My older brother liked to draw also, but not so much me. I don't know where it came from, really. And I used to work in a bakery in Rhode Island for a few years, and I was always so adamant that I preferred to do classic like pastries, like eclairs and cream puffs and things like that over cake. I never wanted to be a cake decorator until I started doing it on my own terms, and now it just kind of flows out of me.
Well, you are just amazing. I mean, I look for occasions, so, because already Judy and I were talking, we're like, we got to get something for election night. We have to order it now. She's going to get so busy. So, I want to tell people, like Shannon, so Shannon is in the New Jersey area, North Jersey more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if someone wants to order a cake from Shannon, just go to Easy Cakes?
I mean, they can message me on my Instagram. I think email is a little bit better. Because on Instagram, it comes in, we've never talked before, it comes in as a request. It's kind of hidden.
Okay.
So email is good.
And what is that email if people want to reach out to you to order a cake?
Sure. My email is ez.cakesnj@gmail.com.
Okay, ez.cakesnj, as in New Jersey, at gmail.com.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, we're going to put that up too. Now, so I have a lot of friends in Jersey. If you need a cake, now, how much time do you usually need? Like a week or two to know ahead of time?
Yeah, if I'm available, I can only do so much.
I know.
Me. A lot of times I have to cap it at 2 or 3 cakes a day. But yeah, if I'm available, I usually need at least a week notice, and I can usually fit it in.
And you've made wedding cakes, you've made birthday cakes, you made our cake for my 100th show. I loved it. Leo's he put that up earlier for the What's the Story with Maria. She made our What's the Story with Maria cake. Valentine's.
I like that one with the microphone.
Oh, that was so cool. That was so cool. And then Leo had a birthday, and you made a Sagittarius cake for Leo.
Oh, yes, right up my alley, the astrology cake.
Oh, you like that? You like the astrology stuff?
I do. Yeah, I do. I love that cake too. I love doing it, I should say.
Yeah, it was so cool. It kind of had like that celestial look to it. Really, really cool. Okay, so that's the thing. If you want a cake by Shannon O'Donnell, and listen, you get one cake from Shannon, you're going to want every cake from Shannon, and she's busy. So get to her, look at your schedule, look at your birthdays. Look, the one thing about COVID that it didn't take away, we're still having birthdays and anniversaries. And
that's right.
That's the beauty of it. Life is happening. It's still happening no matter what you're doing. You have work stuff coming up. People are whatever. You have an engagement party. Whatever you have, reach out to Shannon. I'll give her a couple of weeks ahead of time. And she's an artist, and she'll work with you, and you guys can create something. She always can create something amazing. And get it done. You're not going to be... Because, first of all, not only is it beautiful, it's off the hook. It's off the hook. And you make cupcakes, too, right?
Oh, yeah, of course I can do cupcakes, absolutely. I pretty much stick to cakes and cupcakes.
Yeah, but that's all you need to do, honey. If you're good at something, it's like a specialty. You don't need, sometimes it's better off just doing what you do best, and then doing the other stuff in your own time or fun time, then there's no pressure to, but you're so good at what you do. So I've been dying to have you on. At one point, I was going to have you and your sister Tara on together and have you come into the studio, but we're kind of in this weird place. So when all that changes, I will have both of you come into the studio down the line.
Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah, and I love your family so much. So please give everybody a hug. For me, I love you guys, and we'll talk soon. And I'm going to call you this week because I am putting in an order for election night.
All right, that sounds great. I'm ready for it.
I know you are. You got that turntable. You're ready to go. Okay, honey. Well, thank you so much. It was so nice to talk to you, okay?
Yeah, thank you for having me. You have a good day.
You too, sweetheart.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I'm not kidding about the cakes. It's the best cake I've ever had. And I love cake. I love cake. Listen, I'm one of those people that's always going to eat them. Just sometimes I'm on a diet, sometimes I'm not. But the first thing, if I'm going off my diet, it's cake. That's it. And you just will not find a better cake maker than Shannon O'Donnell. Just not. And if you're in the Jersey area, or even like New York, and she's great and whatever. And but email her and see what you can work out. You're not going to be disappointed. Okay, so now Leo Rodriguez has put the e.z.cakes at Instagram. Please go and follow her, and then you can email her. And I think we put the and you can find her on Facebook too, and then you can talk to her that way. And ez.cakesnj@gmail.com if you want to reach her. Now, I want to do our part of the show, our food part. I have to stay creative. If I expect creative people to call in and talk to me about their creativity, I must stay creative as well. So, here is our apron. Go ahead. Keep eating, right? Why did I come up with that? Because every week on my show, I cook something. Okay, I have to challenge myself, too. What did I make this week? Oh, my God. So here it is. I went with a little seafood dish. I made, and I always have to write it down because I throw so many damn ingredients in here that I forget. Okay, so I made shrimp and scallops, which I love. Love, love, love. And I put garlic, red pepper oil. So I have this oil that has crushed red peppers in it, so it's super hot. You only need a little, but it's off the hook. And I think I got it at Trader Joe's. I love my Trader Joe's. I put Old Bay, very big in Massachusetts, shallots, Marsala wine. So I marinated it in this for about an hour. And then I just put a little bit of olive oil in the pan and a little bit of butter, and then cook that up. And then separately I cooked some broccoli, green beans, and peas, just in butter, salt, and pepper. And threw that all together over, and underneath this, I don't know if you can see it, but there's some delicious yellow rice. So this is going to be so delicious. Oh my God. Okay, now what did I make for my salad? And if you know me, you know I love a good salad. So what do I have in here? Boston lettuce. I have English cucumber, cilantro, red Bermuda onion, red cabbage, celery, and I'm going to put a Milanese gramola olive oil, and I think I'm going to put a little fig vinegar, which I love. And pretty soon I'm going to start buying in the fall I buy all kinds of great vinegars. One of my favorite places, and you can actually look it up, call there and order, and they ship it out to you. It's New England Olive Oil Company, it's called. It's in West Concord, Massachusetts, right near my sister's salon. She has a salon called European Flair. It's in West Concord. My sister Carla, go see her. And then while you're seeing Carla to get your hair did, then you can go to New England Olive Oil Company if you are in the New England area. If you want to just go to their website, New England Olive Oil Company, and check it out, they have the most amazing olive oils. And oils, salad oil, they have delicious vinegars. Just, you can't believe this stuff. It's just my favorite. It's the most beautiful. Now, I also want to give a shout out. Oh, dessert. Okay, Mandario, desserts are for you. So I went simple but delicious. So these are called Stroop waffles. And I think they're from Belgium. But they sell them in different places. You can get them at Trader Joe's, or you can get them I just got them at my one of my corner grocery places. They're really good. These is maple and honey. So it's kind of sort of like having a waffle, but they're like cookies. So delicious. I can't wait to eat that. That's going to be so good. Now, I do want to talk about our friends at queervolutionmedia.co. Leo, if you feel like it and you want to put that up, they are my good friends Michael Billy and Josh Bell, the owner and manager at Pianist Envy. And they started this amazing page where there's all this amazing content of writers and artists and songwriters. They've been sharing my stuff. They've been sharing my songs. Thank you guys so much. They've been sharing our show. Thank you guys so much. And I really appreciate it. And they're just the most supportive people. And Michael, Billy, and Josh, and someone else just started a new podcast, and I'm going to have that for you next week because it's a mystical. But if you go to queervolutionmedia.co, you'll see it. They have a show of their own, and it's just cool, mystical, paranormal stuff. It's really amazing. So I love them very much, and I want to thank them for sharing our show. And I know sometimes you guys share it. I know Chris DePiro has shared our show. Leo has shared our show. Anybody that wants to share this, thank you. We appreciate you. Where can you find us? You can find us on YouTube. Leo runs that page. You can find us on, if you go to YouTube and type in "What's the Story with Maria," all 161 episodes, you will find them there. This show, give it a while to be launched there, but all our other shows. So you can go back and watch all our old episodes, which is great. We have an Instagram page, "What's the Story with Maria" on Instagram. Please go and follow us, and we'll follow you back. I love that. I love that. And yes, we have a Facebook page, "What's the Story with Maria" on Facebook, and you can find us there and follow us, and we would love it. And then I post all the shows to that as well. And I also post a lot of my artists that have been on the show. If they are working on something, then I can post it on the "What's the Story with Maria" page and keep you current on what's happening there. And please, if you're doing a gig and you want to let me know about it, I would love it. I would love to know about it, and I will share it or have you on the show before the gig happens. My mission is to promote my friends, and we always say to celebrate creative people and the reality of living, thriving, and surviving as a creative person, because it's one thing to think, oh, isn't that wonderful? What do they do? What do they do? But the reality of surviving as a creative person in this world it's not easy, but it's so rewarding. It's so rewarding. And like you heard Maura talk about and Shannon talk about, it's just something that you love, and it just happens. And the more you do it, I will have to say, both women said the same thing in different words, is that the more they did it, the better they got at it, and the more they loved what they were doing. So the trick, I think, to creating something is to keep creating it, and you're going to fall in love with your own creative streak. But keep doing it. It's trial and error. Now, I know we're getting close. We have about maybe 3 or 4 minutes left, not even. But let me just check if I've missed anybody. I think I saw Scott Barbarino. Hi, Scotty Barbarino. How are you? Of Piano Bar Live. Great friend of ours. So we're looking forward to... I'm going to see Scotty this week. And what else we got? We got Leo is here. Mandar is here. Judy's here. Lynn's here. So many of our friends have popped on. Eddie, we appreciate you. Thank you, Leo. I can't thank you enough for putting all that stuff on. So all this great stuff. Thank you, Leo. You're just the best. Cheryl Giuliani Rubenstein, how are you, honey? So she just got here. That's okay. You can go back and watch the show. You know how it goes. Also, Leo has posted my website, mariagentili.com. That is my personal website. My CDs are on there. You can order CDs and I'll ship them out to you, or you can just download. I have 2 albums of original music. You can just download those. Also, Lynn Portis and I wrote a brand new song called "Hiding in a Ghost Town." It's about our experience with COVID in New York City, and that is also on mariagentili.com. It's also on YouTube. It's also on our "What's the Story with Maria" page, and we want to thank you for that. So next week, we get a couple of really funny people calling in. Lynn is one of them. Lynn's working on something really great. She's always working on something great, but this is like just a little bit off the beaten path, and you'll see. Richard Koch has just checked in. Hello, Richard Koch, my talented photographer friend. So go out and check out Richard Koch. He is an amazing photographer. He has a book called New York, New York, and it's from the inside point of view of a New Yorker. And Richard, I bet you've been taking I've seen some of your pictures lately, and thank you for your postcard which you sent me. And I too have been taking a lot of photographs. Now is the time. You have to photojournal your life. You have to. They pass like the wind. You gotta record them, whether it's with words, whether it's photography. Archive your memories. That is your life, and it's a big deal. So. Oh, thank you, Cheryl. You're so sweet. Cheryl said Ghost Town is such an evocative song. Thank you, honey. That means a lot. Yeah, Lenny and I did that. It was probably, we started writing it in like maybe the 2nd or 3rd week of COVID. we were both freaking out. We were like, oh my God, what are we going to do? And so then we started writing, and then I went out and took a bunch of pictures of what was happening in New York, and then gave all the pictures to Leo. Lynn and I went in and recorded in the studio, and we created this video. Leo created this video for us, so thank you. I appreciate that people like it. Jimmy, how much time do we have, my friend? I'm thinking it's like a minute, right? I know Jimmy's working on some stuff, but I don't want to go over, so I do want to thank everybody. Thank you for coming back week after week. If I can tell you anything as a creative person, it's like there may be things that you always wanted to do and never did them and never thought you had the time. And I know a lot of people have gone back to work, so it's hard. And if you have kids, it's even harder. And now kids, some of them are in school, some of them are not. But take a few minutes for yourself every day. And if you can meditate. Meditation is amazing. If you could just take a moment, write down, keep a journal. I've been keeping journals for years, and I started doing it again. And write down everything that you're feeling and put it in a place that's just for you. And we almost ready, Jimmy?
Okay, we're coming down to the end of our show.
You got about 20 seconds.
So I just want to thank Jim Bell. I want to thank Jim Bell, our producer and engineer. I want to thank Armed Radio, Joe Rocks of Armed Radio, all of you, Shannon, O'Donnell, Easy Cakes. I want to thank Maura Cooper of carvinginnyc.com. We love you and we appreciate you. Keep up the good fight, everybody. See you next week.
The 22-year-old virgin is in the house.